Welcome to LEGO Wars, the grand final. 16 robots started the competition and one by one they fell by the wayside, and now just 4 battle-hardened competitors remain. Before we get on with the carnage though, let's remind ourselves of the surviving machines.
First, from California in the USA, Duck.
Duck stuttered to a very unlikely win in the last round. They have already made a final in the International Special though, so don't count them out yet.
From Derby, Nalego.
Arguably the underdogs going into the semis, Nalego's run in the competition has hardly been conventional, but they still have their bonker swinging for that home run.
From Cwmbran in Wales, Panic Attack.
They've taken out 2 of the top 4 from the International Special to make it here, but Panic Attack need a knockout performance if they're going to succeed.
From Anapaloa in the Netherlands, Petunia.
Our international champions are back in the top 4 again and have their sights set on securing a double. In the first semi-final, the Purple Peril of Nalego will take on the Sturdy Duck, while the second semi sees the Dutch Devil of Petunia take on the Pride of Wales in Panic Attack. Let battle commence!
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
So it's the battle of the BattleBots machines, Nalego versus Duck. Nalego has lost an ear almost immediately and a side skirt. And I tell you what, they're literally falling apart at the early stages of this one. And Duck are definitely on top in my opinion. They've been more aggressive, they've been more controlled. And Nalego very nearly driving themselves down the pit there. Down comes the toilet brush, as I called it in the International Special. And they've got the pit, surely. They can't hold on much longer. They're in.
Cease.
Well, that was over very, very quickly, and Duck go through to the next round. That was over before it started. Really easy victory for Duck, slamming into Nalego once and twice, taking off the side skirt. Nalego bringing down the hammer. They actually opened the pit, believe it or not, and then threw themselves straight down it, practically, with a little bit of help from Duck. It was a very foul performance from Nalego. We hope to see them again next time, but Duck go through to the next round. Very convincingly, it has to be said.
After that swift pitting, we move on to the second semi-final with international champs Petunia against the dogged Panic Attack.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Don't forget, the winner of this fight goes through to the final to face off against Duck. Petunia on their back straight away, courtesy of Panic Attack. Now, there is something interesting about this fight. Panic Attack lost in Series 7 to Tough as Nails, and Jordan, who is on the Tough as Nails, is on the Petunia team, has also been on the Tough as Nails team in the past. So a little bit of revenge perhaps here for Panic Attack if they can beat Petunia. Petunia keeps doing wheelies, which isn't really very effective in the LEGO Wars arena. Trying to come in though on the attack now of Panic Attack. Didn't manage to get a hold of them on that regard. Remember, the winner of this does go through to the grand final. The loser has to face off against Nalego in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. Oh, and look at the wedge of Petunia. It's come out of place. Got pushed back into place though, thanks to Panic Attack. Were they doing that, I wonder, because that made Petunia's crusher less effective without a wedge to get underneath anything. So that was a bit of bad driving, if anything, from Panic Attack to give them back their full wedge. Now Petunia trying to make them rue that decision by bringing that claw down, but missing once again. Can Petunia do the damage? Trying desperately to do so, and now grabbing a hold of Panic Attack's lifting forks. Can they get a hold of them? No. They were unable to on that attempt, and Panic Attack now with a good side-on assault, getting those lifting forks underneath Petunia and driving them into the sidewall, and the pit is very, very close, and I'm not too sure Petunia can hold on. They can't, they're down, and Panic Attack go through to the final. Well, Panic Attack getting revenge on the Dutch for that victory all those years ago. It was a good start from Panic Attack, getting Petunia on their back not once but twice, and then doing that damage there to their front wedge for, helping them out again. This was the only real attack from Petunia, trying to get the claw in on the lifting forks. It didn't quite work out though, and then great driving here by Panic Attack, able to get underneath the wheel of Petunia, lift them up off the floor, into the air, and then eventually dump them down the pit. Panic Attack go through.
Well done to Panic Attack for claiming the last spot in the grand final. Before we move on to the grand final though, we have a real grudge match on our hands between the Lego and Petunia for that third place finish.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Lego versus Petunia. This for the bronze, and it's going to be a good fight. Lego immediately losing an ear straight away, not managing to get that hammer into play either. Petunia the favourites to win this because they are the international champions of Lego Wars. They won that, don't forget, for Robo Nerd. And now bringing the crusher down, and I think they've got Lego in the eye, which is a nasty place to get it. And now pulling off a side panel, and that's the most damage we've seen that claw do this championship. Lego giving them a bit of a friendly tap with the hammer, a little bit of a warning as they get away from me, trying to smack the hell out of them. Lego, again, a bit of a surprise package. No one expected them to come this far in this tournament, and they have a chance here to get the bronze and doing damage to the top of Petunia. And again, bringing that swinging hammer down, and again, that is the most damage we've seen come from that hammer in this tournament. So both robots are now pulling out all the stops. Down comes Petunia's crusher once again, trying to take off the other side panel of Lego. It's come a bit loose by the looks of things. Is Lego okay? The hammer looks a little bit wonky. Petunia's letting the claw down once again, but failing to. Can Lego still move? Yes, they can. Just. And now being pushed into the sidewall again. That claw really coming down. Off comes the side panel of Lego. So now Petunia are definitely winning on damage. Aggression, I would say, is probably Petunia's as well. Control, not too sure. Lego's getting some good hits in though with that axe of theirs, or the hammer, or the bonker, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Call it the toilet brush, that's the best name for it, I think, personally. And they've done some damage there to Petunia's wedge, though. So maybe it isn't a toilet brush. If it is, it's an iron one. Oh, that would be nasty, wouldn't it? Down it comes once again, but Petunia getting that good push in again. But that's a good push by Lego now on Petunia. This is a really good fight here. Very back and forth. Both robots giving it their all. Both robots getting the plentiful attacks in. Both robots causing damage to one another. Lego seem to be stuck on the sidewall because of their hammer. Now they're okay. Petunia being pushed back there into the pit button. The pit didn't go down on that attack though. Is it going to go down a second? Oh, Petunia driving over the pit button there. What happened there? I don't think we've ever seen that before. The pit has now been released. Will either of these two robots occupy, or will they go to distance? If they go to distance, I wouldn't be surprised. It's been a very good fight, and it'll be a very tough one for the judges if they do so. But Lego being pushed back by Petunia and pitted. And Petunia able to come back strongly towards the end and take the bronze from Lego. Well done to the Dutch. They've got third place. What a fight that was. Absolutely brilliant. Petunia coming in with some good attacks early on, managing to get that crusher in and do some serious damage to the side. But then Nelly came in with that lovely hit there on the top and another huge shot there. But once again, their side panel got plucked away by the crusher of Petunia. Lego, though, showed great aggression with that huge hammer of theirs. I'd honestly say this is the best fight both these two have put on in this tournament so far. And what a fight to go out on, it really was. But in the end, Petunia had the better pushing power and was able to shove Lego down into the pit. The Dutch get the bronze.
Well done to Petunia on claiming that third place finish. Now all that remains is to crown a champion. 14 robots have been bashed, smashed, and at times terribly driven, leaving us with 2 battle-hardened warriors ready to duke it out for the title. Will Duck make amends for their international final flop, or will Panic Attack mimic their heavyweight counterparts and take the title? Let's find out.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So we have 2 strong, sturdy and powerful robots in this battle. These two, of course, fought each other in the International Special, and Duck won that fight. So they are the odds-on favourite to win here. But do not count Panic Attack out. Of course, it's also the second final that Duck's been a part of. They came second in the International Championship. So again, very strong pedigree from Duck. So they've got to be the strong favourites. But Panic Attack, don't forget, are strong favourites too. Robot Wars legends. They're Series 2 champions. They're multi-time semi-finalists as well. But Duck, for me, is probably being the more aggressive. Probably the better controlled as well. Not getting too many good attacks in with their lifter though. Then again, nor a Panic Attack. I'd say Duck's probably on top at the moment, but Panic Attack has got the lower front, don't forget. So if they can keep that front pointed at Duck, they might have a bit more of a chance. Duck coming in with some good side-on assaults and getting them into the side walls. Panic Attack going to get those forks underneath Duck, and finally do, but weren't able to take advantage of it. Now they've got their forks raised up a little bit too high, so they can't get underneath Duck, or can they? Managing to get underneath on that exchange, but did not manage to take advantage of it. Really good battle this, very tactical, good driving from both machines. Duck for me are probably just on top, but that was a good drive there by Panic Attack. Can they get underneath and get the lifted forks? I don't know. They very nearly managed to lift them off the floor, but didn't quite manage it on that exchange. And now Panic Attack very close to the edge of the pit, but were able to get away from it. Good driving there by Panic Attack. This is a really good fight, you know. Should be ready for the final. Remember, the winner of this will be crowned the first ever LEGO Wars champion, which is a hell of a thing to be crowned first time, let me tell you. Duck driving backwards, and now a good real heave-ho here between these two robots. Who has got the most push? Duck doing a bit of a flip. Now, was that wise? I think they were winning that pushing contest until that happened. Good push there, though, by Duck, getting in on the side again. The Panic Attack trying to get underneath them and maybe flick them over. Have they got the power to flick them over? I'm honestly not too sure. Duck now behind Panic Attack and shoving them across the arena. Panic Attack will have to get those lifting forks in on a wheel or into an exposed area and have to drag them towards the pit. I think that's their best tactic, and they're trying to do that desperately. Our Duck now having problems. They seem to have had mobility problems throughout this competition, and this is not the time to have them, boys, in the final, because this means Panic Attack can come back and get some good attacks in. And that's exactly what they're doing now. Getting those lifting forks underneath, trying to pluck them off the floor, and they can maybe carry them towards the pit. And Panic Attack is definitely finishing this the stronger robot. Our Duck's still mobile. Their wheels are spinning, so that must be a yes. But they're barely moving. And are they immobile here? No. No, just enough movement towards the end, but Panic Attack urgently trying to get them towards the pit, but time is ticking down. Will they get them in the pit in time, or will Duck survive to the judges? They're going to survive to the judges, and this is definitely a good fight, and a very close one at that. Whew! Very close. What a final that was. Absolutely brilliant. Good aggression early on by Duck, slamming Panic Attack into the side wall. Good work there by Panic Attack, though. Getting those lifting forks underneath. Good slam here from Duck once again. Duck, for me, with the most aggressive machine. Panic Attack seemed to have better control throughout, however. So that's something that has to be taken into consideration. As for damage, I'm honestly not too sure, really. Neither machine took much damage out there. Duck doing that little flippy flick thing. I wonder if that will score them any points to the judges for control. I doubt it. But this is the real problem. Duck, towards the end of the fight, stopped moving. And we're really starting to struggle, and Panic Attack were able to get some good hits in at the end. What a fight, though.
And the winner and Series 1 champion by unanimous decision is Panic Attack. Congratulations to Panic Attack, our inaugural LEGO Wars champions. That's it for Series 1 of LEGO Wars, but we'll be back next year with more robots, more excitement, and more carnage. Before we go, I'd like to thank everybody who has helped out, both during production and behind the scenes. For the last time this series, I've been David of Smeg, and we'll see you in the next one.